They admire your smile, but they never hear your silence. They praise your strength, but overlook your scars. All your life, you've been surrounded by people, yet you felt utterly invisible. Why? This isn't about being shy or quiet. This is about something deeper, a soul that was never meant to blend in. If you've always felt like no one truly sees you, your pain, your heart, your truth, then this message is for you. You've walked into rooms where the laughter is loud, the lights are bright, and yet something feels off. You smile, nod, maybe even talk a little, but deep down, you're scanning the room for someone who just gets it, who looks at you and sees you, not just your appearance, not your job, not your image, but you. And that person never seems to be there. It starts early. You might have been the kid who felt emotions intensely, watching others move on from things you couldn't stop thinking about. You'd notice patterns others ignored. You could sense tension in a room before anyone spoke. And slowly, you began to wonder, why doesn't anyone else feel things like this? You started hiding that part of yourself. Not because you wanted to, but because being fully you made others uncomfortable. You were too much, too sensitive, too quiet, too intense. So you adapted. You learned how to wear masks. The "I'm fine" mask, the "I don't mind" mask, the strong one, the helper, the achiever. And the world responded. They liked you more when you were less yourself. They praised your ability to stay calm in chaos, to carry others' burdens, to always be there. But no one ever stopped to ask, who's carrying you? You became a mirror for others, reflecting back what they needed to feel safe, loved, supported. But who reflected you back to yourself? And here's the hardest part. You might have even been in relationships, maybe even deep ones, and still felt alone, still felt misunderstood. You could be lying beside someone and feel more unseen than when you're completely by yourself. That feeling, that hollowness, it doesn't mean something is wrong with you. It means something sacred about you has been buried under the expectations of the world. You see, the reason you've never felt fully seen is because you're not meant to be seen by everyone. You're not ordinary. Your soul vibrates on a frequency that most people aren't tuned into. And when people can't understand something, they either ignore it or try to shrink it. That's what they've been doing to you your whole life. Not always intentionally, sometimes with love, but the outcome is the same. You feel invisible. And that invisibility becomes internalized. You start questioning your own worth. Maybe I'm too complex. Maybe I don't belong. Maybe I'm just broken. But let me tell you something powerful. You are not broken. You are rare. And the rarer something is, the fewer people can recognize its value. Think of a diamond buried in the earth. Before it's polished, before it shines, it's just a rock to most people. But to someone who knows what to look for, it's treasure. That's you. You've been surrounded by people who didn't recognize your worth because they were never meant to. You've been looking for depth in shallow places. You've tried to explain yourself in languages that your soul doesn't speak. You've watered yourself down to fit into spaces that weren't built for you. And every time you did that, you felt a little more unseen, a little more alone, a little more lost. But your feeling of invisibility is not proof that you're unworthy. It's a signal, a spiritual alarm bell, a message from the universe, from God, from your higher self. You're not living in alignment with who you really are. Because the truth is, when you see yourself, when you embrace your intensity, your depth, your vision, others will have no choice but to feel you, even if they can't fully understand you. You weren't made to be average. That ache in your soul, the one that whispers late at night, "There's more to me than this," that's not delusion. That's truth. That's your inner self begging to be seen by you first. And maybe you've always hoped someone would come into your life and finally say, "I see you." But that person can only appear when you stop hiding, when you stop playing roles that keep you safe but small. Because when you step into your full, raw, unfiltered self, When you stop shrinking and start shining, something shifts. The people who are meant for you start to feel you before they even meet you. You stop attracting those who only want a piece of you, and start magnetizing those who want to know the whole of you. But here's what no one tells you. Being seen fully is scary. It means being vulnerable. It means taking off the mask. It means letting people in, even when you're terrified they'll walk away once they see the real you. But if they do, let them go. They were never meant to hold the depth of you, because you were never meant to be fully seen by the crowd. You were meant to be fully known by the few. You've been planting seeds your whole life, in the dark, in silence, with hope. And now you're finally ready to bloom. Not for validation, not for applause, but because the world needs your light. And the moment you choose to show up, unapologetically, something sacred happens. That invisible child inside you, the one who's been waiting so long to be seen, finally feels heard, finally feels home. The world doesn't need more people who fit in. It needs more souls who stand up, who say, "This is me, all of me." And if that scares you, good. It means it matters. It means you're waking up. Let the world misunderstand you. Let them call you too much, too deep, too intense. You were never here to be digestible. You were here to be divine. And it starts now. You were here to be divine. To walk this earth not as someone who conforms, but as someone who transforms. To bring light to places that are too afraid of their own shadows. But how can you do that if you keep hiding your own? Being fully seen means being fully exposed. It means the world sees your brilliance and your brokenness, your magic and your mess. That's the risk, but it's also the reward. You've spent years being what others needed. The strong one, the dependable one, the funny one, the smart one. But who were you before the world told you who to be? Before life forced you to survive instead of thrive? That version of you, the pure one, the powerful one, the one untouched by fear, is still inside you, waiting, watching, whispering. The reason you've never felt fully seen is because you haven't fully seen yourself. You've been looking for outside confirmation of an inner truth, but no one can validate what they don't understand. And they won't understand, because you're not normal. You're not here to walk the same path as everyone else. That's why when you tried to follow their rules, it felt like wearing clothes that didn't fit. Spiritually tight, emotionally suffocating. You were made for higher places, deeper waters, conversations that crack open the soul, moments that bring people back to their truth. But the surface-level world doesn't know what to do with someone like you, so it pushes you aside, dismisses your depth, labels you as different. But different doesn't mean wrong. It means chosen. And yes, that's a heavy word. Chosen. But you've always known it, haven't you? Even when you were a child, staring at the stars, wondering why you felt things others didn't. Even when you walked away from crowds, not because you were antisocial, but because your spirit craved solitude to breathe. You were chosen not to be perfect, but to be real. And the realest people in the world, they are often the loneliest, because truth is rare. And the rarer something is, the harder it is to find others who recognize it. But here's the promise. When you finally stand in your truth, when you stop filtering yourself to make others comfortable, you won't just be seen, you'll be felt. Your presence will shift rooms. Your words will break illusions. Your silence will speak louder than their noise. And slowly, the right ones will find you. Not because you chased them, but because you became visible to them the moment you stopped dimming your light. But let's be honest, this path isn't easy. There are moments when the weight of being unseen feels unbearable, when your voice shakes because it's been silent too long, when you want to give up, go back, blend in. But remember, the pressure you're feeling isn't punishment, it's preparation. Diamonds are made in the dark. Stars are born in chaos. And you are being forged in fire so your light can't be extinguished. You've had to lose people to find your power. You've had to walk alone to discover your direction. You've had to be misunderstood to be redefined. And now you're on the edge of something sacred. You're not invisible. You're emerging. You're not lost. You're awakening. The ones who see you now, those are your people. The ones who never really did. They were just lessons. They showed you what parts of yourself you were still hiding, what wounds you still needed to heal. And healing doesn't mean becoming someone new. It means remembering who you were before the world told you to forget. It means seeing yourself clearly and choosing to love what you find. Not in a shallow, self-help kind of way, but in a deep, soul-rooted, I don't need their approval kind of way. Because when you see yourself clearly, two things happen. First, you stop seeking love that feels like survival. And second, you stop fearing the silence, because you realize it's in the silence that your soul finally speaks.